Meow indeed. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this lazy Sunday afternoon stream where me, the cat, will be coding some Kotlin, hopefully. Yeah. What's this thing about? I'd say check out the YouTube channel, but I haven't uploaded the thing yet, introduction. So instead, I'll just show you where I'm at right now. I've been building this application just as a hobby project, but it sort of solves a little problem that we were having, where we would organize a competition during one of our holidays with the friend groups, and you have to perform some challenges, and if you do them successfully and yell fuck it afterwards, then you get points for doing this challenge. And then we'll just tally the results at the end of the week, see who wins, and then they get to invent some new challenge or whatever. So background is that this happened in 2018. We did this for the first time, doing the fuck it challenge or the F it challenge. And we didn't do it again in 2019, so this year. And I thought it was a real damn shame. So I thought maybe I could facilitate administration or something by building this web app. And then hopefully do this challenge thing again because it's so much fun. Right, so what can you do in this thing? You can create a new competition. And then while you're creating one, you can add challenges to it. Let's just see if I can... Yeah, no. I will create a new one. Anyway, if you once you have one, maybe this one is still open. No, not. In any case, eventually you'll have some challenges, and then you can start completing them by just clicking on the complete challenge button, then click on something, and then mark who did the challenge or successfully completed it. You press submit, and then they get the points. Now, last weekend I didn't stream. Why was that? Because I was at Spiel. It's a huge board gaming convention in Europe and in Germany, in Essen, actually. And we played the game again, just to give me some feedback on what I could improve on and stuff like that. So yeah, here we are. And I did end up winning the competition. And as you can see, by quite a lot. Now, that's one of the first things that were mentioned, like maybe since we all created or added challenges to this competition, we all just gave it some points randomly, apparently. But they need to be on some kind of a scale, though. Like maybe I need to introduce some kind of, what's it called, a challenge rating for every... challenge, so that then we can just properly distribute how much worth some challenges are. Then another thing is that I can't currently view what challenges a competitor has completed, so you can't really say who did what, basically. That's another thing to take into account. And then there's currently also no stop the competition thing anymore. So even though the date has passed, I could still mark someone to complete some challenges. So those are just a couple of things that I've learned from feedback, and then there's some other detailed, like more detailed stuff as well. Right, so that's like the functional part. There's also a more technical part to this thing, where I just wanted to learn some new stuff, mostly Kotlin, because yeah, I really love coding in Kotlin. It's so much fun, meow. Then also Vue, we did some project in it, and I also really like coding in Vue, but this I chose more because of its ease of use. So I already have this nice looking web app here, and yeah, I mean, I knew Vue a little bit, so why not be a little bit more productive and use Vue? But mainly, this is the most important thing. So I have this issue where a personal issue where I usually over design stuff, and I wanted to get rid of that. So I got myself thinking, but why should I not do this immediately with CQRS and a hexagonal architecture? Well, the answer is because you can learn a lot by doing shit faster if you just use a monolith and maybe active record, for example, as a quote-unquote architecture. And then learn from that app you just built, like get feedback from it, and then you either throw it away or you just move from that app or from that style to hexagonal and CQRS. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So if I can prove to myself that I can move from a monolithical architecture with an anemic domain model to hexagonal and CQRS, then I shouldn't have any fear, let's say, of starting out with a monolith and an anemic domain model, because I can prove I will have proved to myself that I can move from one to the other. So that's where we are right now. So I built this app. There's some features in it. It's definitely not feature complete, but I already started moving from monolith to CQRS. And let's see. Oh, so this is not the project that I should have open yet. In this window, yes. All right, here we go. Let's do presentation mode. Yeah. Updates value, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we've got two modules right now for currently one web app. We've got the regular backend and then a CQRS backend. Only one of them gets used currently, and it's the CQRS one. Then there's the UI project or module that just has the Vue code. And this thing will get bundled into a dist folder, and then everything in there will be copied to somewhere here. Maybe it's classes, main resources or something, I don't remember. In any case, it'll get packaged alongside the CQRS backend, which is just an executable jar, and then Spring Boot will serve that static folder, basically. So that's what the architecture currently looks like. Yeah, there we go. And what else? So, one reason. So this thing is still there so that they can refer to previous looking code on stream more easily. I haven't used it yet though, so. Then I've also got a project. You can track this completely if you go to this URL. Let me spam or ask Nightbot to help be a little bit more helpful there. There we go. Right, so let's go to this issue because it'll be a little bit more clear viewing this. So there's one big issue moving that says moving monolith to hexagonal, and let's see, we've got along to using commands, and we haven't done competition controller completely or challenge controller completely yet, but so this is where I am, somewhere in the competition controller. I guess I stopped moving, so the light was turned down. All right, so if you go to the competition controller right now, I mean right meow. So this is the one in the CQRS backend normally. Yeah, okay. then we can already see that some things are not working with a command executor yet, and some things are. So unstart competition is the last method that I successfully converted to using commands. And the current idea is to just move whatever is within this method to a command handler for, in this case, adding challenges, for example. So what we'll do is I'll create an add challenge or challenges command, and then execute that. And then whatever gets returned from that, I should also return here. That's about as far as my plan goes currently. It's been working out pretty nice. So the thing I'm not doing just yet is splitting it up, like actually doing proper clean architecture with the hexagonal architecture. I have, however, just split them up into proper packages. So we've got an adapter, we've got a SQL adapter and a UI adapter packages, and we've got the domain, and we've got some common code here using commands and queries. That's about it. So the idea is to split these packages into actual modules so that I can introduce module dependencies. It'll be yet another wall that a future developer needs to crawl over if he wants to break stuff. So that's about it. Right, so today I hope we can finish doing this add challenges thing. The previous commands were like, I don't know, like an hour or something. So hopefully I can do this one within the hour as well. But we'll see. Maybe it'll need some refactoring as well, in addition to just moving to commands. What we'll see. We'll just see. Okie dokie. So yeah, that's probably the main thing. Both start and unstart competition were already like sort of task-based. If you read the URL, add challenges also sort of is, I guess. So I feel like I can get away with this. So what I mean with that is without having to introduce like a new type or something. Maybe I should though, because so here we've got to create competition, which is a command, I guess, huh? And here add challenges should also have a different type from just challenge. It should be something like a challenge to add or whatever, instead of the actual challenge object that is going to be connected to a competition. So I'm not really sure what to do first. I guess changing this challenge thing into a more specific thing shouldn't really be an issue. Yeah, here. So this is in fact directly the command. Okay, so let's try and do that. So we've got a bunch of add challenges. So maybe this can be a list of add challenge commands then, instead of just a challenge. So let's go back to these competition commands and then just define a new competition command called add challenge command, which then contains, or should contain, a value with the challenge to add. Now we've got a choice. Either I can do something like this, or I could have this add challenge command just contain all of the things necessary to create a new challenge. So if we're going to look at this thing right here, it is going to use, oh yeah, okay. So we're actually going to create new challenges by doing this. So it's a little bit cheeky where these challenges to be added are actually going to be create challenge commands instead of just add challenge. But in essence, they really look, or they should look exactly the same like this. So what I could do probably is because here I also need to make sure that both these validations come along with it. Quite interesting, innit? How am I going to go about that? You know what? Let's just first just copy this thing all the way over to here, and then make a new object or something. Or I could just use a type alias. That'll be helpful. And then gradually change. Yeah, why not? Okay, let's do type alias. So let's first add a type alias for this, which is commands dot add challenge, and then we'll create a new type alias called challenge to add, which is a type alias for just the challenge entity. There we go. Cool. Okay. Well, that's about it, I guess. No, the other thing I don't really like about that is that this thing is there. So really what I should have done is just copied all of this, I guess. Wait, hang on. Don't I already have something that creates challenges or something? I guess not. But okay, hang on. So if I go to challenge controller, there or here, I can't actually create a challenge, but I can update them. Okay. So all right, it should be a command that returns a competition, I think. Of that, I'm not sure yet either. So if I go back here and go to add challenges, the thing that's being returned is still entity. It's just this. Okay, cool. Instead of just returning the... but here I am saving the competition that has new challenges. Okay, cool. So, okay. Right, so the first thing to do, maybe let's just copy this thing and then make it into an add challenge, or challenge to be added or something. Added in a command somewhere. Instead of having a type alias for it. Challenge to add. Then we can get rid of this entity thing. I don't think it should have an ID because I'll create one. It should still be REST API exposed. It should have this as well, just to some validation. And then the companion object, I think, needs to be there so I can have test builders for it. So this can go. And then what? And then I think what I also need to do is I think challenge might have its own unit tests that check the validation. Yeah, so let's just copy this test completely over to command and then say add challenge. No, challenge to add tests. There we go. And then instead of challenges, it should have a challenge to add. And they should just keep on working. By the way, if you have any questions whatsoever, just feel free to add them in chat and I'll try and respond to them as quickly as possible. Doop dee doo. Alright, so they still work, which makes complete sense. Now the thing about copy pasting this is that I'm not, let's say, validating everything. Then there was one thing with the description that it can't be bigger than 255 characters. I also duplicated business logic for a challenge, basically. So maybe this actually should go into a rule that knows how to validate a challenge, because, I mean, it makes sense that I do this, but maybe it doesn't make sense or a lot of sense to add it onto this challenge to add, but maybe this should move to the command handler, actually. That tries to make challenges from these little objects, so... The other thing that I don't think I've tested yet is let's go to the competition controllers test, and then maybe there's like an add challenge or something. Should add given challenges to the blah blah blah. That's it. Complete challenge ID should add challenge. Okay. I guess add it to a competitor or something instead of added. But so I don't have a test that says or that tries to add an invalid challenge, like with negative stuff that well, that gets triggered after Jackson creates a challenge object. But yeah, maybe. Okay, let's do that a little bit later. So instead of doing add challenges now with challenge type, just making sure that I'm in the correct one. This should be challenge to add. And then of course this stops working. So maybe the first thing I need to do is rewrite this test. Where's the add challenge thing? Should add given challenges to the given competition. No, wait, I ran into this thing before as well. Basically, all of the logic that's here should actually just move to the command handler eventually. So maybe let's just try and do that first. So that means if I go here, then here we go. So add a challenge. This thing isn't used yet. So maybe let's first create a command handler for it. So that's the add challenge command handler that I'll need for that. There we go. This thing is a command handler of a return type, I guess, competition. And what is a queue? I guess it shouldn't be called queue, but rather C for command. So it should be an add challenge command. Just add challenge then. Let's do both of these. So the handle is whatever. I mean, the handle is to do, but the command type should be return this thing. Then I'll quickly just fix this because it shouldn't be Q, but rather C for a command. And then we can write a test for this. And then add new test functions. So we've got the handle function, and what should it do? It should first create challenge. And add it to a competition. Found competition even. Okay, how did we do that before? Is I guess we'll have a private val or late init var of a add challenge command handler. Then we'll have Then we'll have a setup function that instantiates handler, challenge command handler, and then we can inject our mocks that way. Oh, right, before I forget, let's make this into a component so that it can get scanned and picked up by Spring. And then, so handlers, we'll call handle. It should have a command, which is an add challenge command containing, okay. So this is good that I split it up into a challenge to add, because now I need to know that I should have a found competition. So the first thing it should have is a found competition ID. So and then also a challenge to add. Let's just go and actually change this thing. Where is the controller? Yeah, currently, so it only has challenges for now. So I do need both of these. I need a competition ID and the challenges that it needs to be added to it. Okay. So let's go here. It's this one. And then we'll do competition ID and a challenge to add. Cool. So competition ID. Let's create this thing, which is a competition ID of I don't know, Spiel 2019, and then a new challenge to add, which is a new challenge to add. And for this, we don't yet have builders yet, so let's go to the challenge object itself, and then can I navigate using this? Guess not. So I need something like this. But then for my challenge to add thing, so let's go back here. Let's call it challenge challenge to add test builder. And then instead of extending the challenge companion, let's extend the challenge to add companion. To add, and then ID is no longer a thing here. So we can get rid of that. What's the problem? Okay, so it's not a challenge, but a challenge to add. There you go. Alrighty. Then this thing can have challenge to add a default challenge to add for test, which is just random stuff, I guess, and always 3 points. Okay, whatevs. Okie doke. Now we can complete this thing by going to the controller test again, because it should have all of the logic necessary to add stuff. So what we do here is we first verify that challenges get made basically, and then also saved. Here we do save 2 though, instead of the single one. And then we just verify that this thing is saved as well, and this thing is exactly what? This one. So, yeah. When find by competition identifier, then return. There was a thing about this. I forget what it was. Did I somewhere write this down? This is probably going to end up in all competition handlers, so find a way to remove that duplication when it happens. So that's right now, or it already happened in fact. Did I add something? Here we go. Remove find or throw duplication. Yeah, so as long as I don't find a way to remove this duplication, for every command that I keep on writing, I will my brain will get triggered into reading this thing. So and it'll be really annoying because it's right now it's in the command handler, in this command handler test, but it'll also be in both of these where I set this up. So I'm just thinking whether I should do this now or not. I don't think I should actually. But so that does mean I need to do all of this again. And then actually all of this again, because it always works exactly the same. Okay. When competition found, create challenge, add it to the found competition. So this is the query I need indeed. I'll need a type alias import. Okay. Get rid of that. Then I'll need to introduce a mocking for the query executor mock, which is a query executor. We'll also need it for our competition repository. There we go. Huh? Wait. Oh, wrong query executor import probably. Yeah. It's that one. Okay. And then I'll need competition capture as well. Yay. Argument capture for a competition. Okay. And then what? Then I'll need to create a new competition ID with this thing. Okay. And then let's do static imports here. Let's also maybe without challenges. So this one has no challenges. So whenever this find competition query is going to be executed, I'm going to get this returned existing competition. Then eventually when stuff gets saved, then just return the same thing. For now, I don't really care about that. But then I do care about this competition capture, because then I can verify that this competition captures a value. Actual or competition to be saved or something. Assert that competition to be saved. That this thing's challenges then contains the new challenges that were created. So right now I could do exactly, and then this specific created challenge. Challenge created from newly created challenge, maybe something like that. This is a challenge that has the same. So how do you say that? I want this thing to exclude the ID of the challenge. It should be a new one, in fact. So maybe what I could do. I think the tricky part here is that there's actually multiple commands being executed. And now I feel like I have to do both of them at the same time or something. That's like the main issue here, I think. you know what? Let's just create something with the name equals, where is it? Challenge to add dot name. The points should be challenge to add dot points, and the description challenge to add description. This is what it should look like. And then it should exclude, maybe I can using element comparator, excluding, ignoring, here we go, ID or something. Because this is a challenge and it hopefully will exclude this ID thing. I'm not sure if it will work. Okay, so right now it should completely fail. And I think that's... oh, actually, no. I also need to verify that the challenge repository mock was called. Yikes. And then I can't actually do this. I'll also need a second argument capture for the challenge. And then I need to go like this when challenge repository mock save, capture the challenge, return the newly created and saved challenge. Which in fact can just be, sorry, what? Which can be default challenge for tests. Cause I don't give a damn. But then I can verify that it is exactly the same as this one by reference. And that should be the case. Because then I can verify that it's the one that I attach to my competition is the one that is returned when this challenge thing is saved. Okay, cool. So let's do this here. And then let's do that here. Oh, hang on. What's this value? Challenge to be saved. And then I can assert that this challenge to be saved dot da 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 is equal to. So actually let's do it like this. Is equal to there we go. And I guess not null on the ID or something? I don't know. Is that silly? I think it is. Because that's basically this thing, right? I mean, see now the thing that I already knew beforehand was, since and is in my function, I'm basically testing two things at the same time, and that's not that great. But that's also currently what the competition controller is doing, as noted in this function here, because you do add challenge, save competition. Actually, it's three things, because you create a challenge, save it, and then add it to the competition and save the competition. So that ain't good, son. But let's just first extract it as is. You could argue that this test was then a little bit useless, but it really isn't, because I can then verify that I copied all of the behavior. Oh yeah, so since I do that, I need to extend this with the Mockito extension, this one, so that @mock annotations are interpreted. All right, let's run it. Oof. Oof. Yeah, okay, so now I'll start to implement this thing and then get useful output. Let's go to a different command handler implementation. Let's say this one maybe. Because I'll need, well, not the three of those, but at least competition repository and the executor. See here, I extracted creation of a competition to a specific class for that. Let's see. And here the things are there. The validation, I mean. And then some bullshit defaults that I never used. So let's do this. Let's not add that. And then I'll need the challenge repository. There we go. And now we can hopefully just go to our controller test, our controller itself, in fact, and then do this and this. Okay. And then it instead should be a newly created challenge or something. Challenge. And then don't copy, but in fact just create a new one. Okay. No. It should be a challenge, so let's do add challenge. Yes. With command challenge and then those things. How am I going to go do that? Just thinking about it was taking longer than actually writing it, so points. And then we'll do the same for, what was it again? Description. And something else that I forgot. The name, of course. Okie dokie. There we go. So now we create a new challenge with a random ID. which has a name, points, and a description. Then if that stuff doesn't work, validation will get triggered. Stuff will explode if it doesn't happen correctly. And then here, the found competition stuff, I could copy from here. No, from the start competition controller. And here we go. So from this thing. So if I go to the implementation. Alrighty. And then we just do find competition with a add challenge or command. In fact, this ID. Found competition. There we go. So if I run the test now, it should work, I guess. Unless something is not compiling, of course. Ah, yeah, I should be returning a competition. So let's just return this one. And then if that works or if that's green. Oh yeah, okay, so of course I'll need to add these things now. Competition repository. I do this because I don't want to depend on Spring's boot time and then wiring mocked beans. Might as well just create the thing myself. There we go. It's green. So I'm aware that I haven't tested all of the the edge cases yet. But let's refactor this thing and create a new challenge. Oh, so I'm getting great reactions from the people walking by. Like, first of all, what the hell is going on? There's a guy sitting behind his desk on a Sunday. Then he's chatting into a mic. Then they turn around and see that it's a guy with a cat mask. Good times. Okay, so now what should I test is the fact that when I create a new challenge, that it should also trigger validation. I am throwing illegal state exceptions here though. And I think if I go to competition creator, it's not, I'm returning domain validation runtimes, which makes way more sense. Okay. Dang it. Because these I don't think will show up. What actually happens if I start to create a challenge with 0 points? Okay, let's just add a new test though. Maybe that's a happy path thing. Handle when what do you do when a competition is not found? Then nothing happens, I guess. Not found. Just return. I don't know. Throw exception. What did I do with the other handlers? Oh, nothing. Great. Yeah, I think that's because let's go to the actual implementation of this handler. So this should always return a competition. And then if this handler here doesn't find anything, it just gets thrown. So now I no longer need to test that. That's awesome. Hang on. So here, this I don't care about. Maybe then I don't need to specify this anymore either. Creating challenge should be validated, I guess. But it's another thing where this information is in the challenge itself. What other stuff can go wrong then? So I verified in my test that this is done. And then there's another thing that I can do is just... What the hell is this? I want to introduce this as a parameter. Do that thing. There we go. So create new challenge from this challenge in the command, and this is in fact the add challenge. So that's this thing, and this should be called challenge to add. Aye. I fear that other stuff was changed as well with that, because like having challenge to add, but to rename. Here we cleaned up some imports, new class, rename of Q to C, the new command, and that's it. Okay, cool. Nothing else was changed. Okay, cool. Let's go to this test again. Yeah, cake. Maybe saving could break. This is annoying, huh? Let's test this in fact. So since I want it to be the first thing that breaks, right? So even before finding a competition. So I go this. This can be any competition ID. Does not matter. But then this challenge to add should be invalid. Invalid. Challenge to add or something. And it should be a challenge to add. Of what? I can't create it because it'll already break. Then we can get rid of this, I guess. All right. So let's give it a name of nothing. I don't know. Snarf. And then let's just give it points 0 and a description of whatever. And then if I do this, it's going to throw an exception. So I should go like assert that exception of type. And now I want a domain validation runtime. and I'm not getting that, or I'm probably not getting that, is thrown by this block of code. Whoppa. And if I run this, I am going to get an illegal state exception set of a domain validation runtime. Yes. So let's go to the challenge and then challenges test, and then change these into domain validation runtimes, domain validation runtime exceptions, because then they'll get translated into proper JSON objects. Let's also do this thing. They still work, hopefully. Oh, yeah, of course they don't. Domain validation runtime. But then that should work. I wonder what the squiggly lines are here for. Maybe it had something to do with the domain validation runtime. Because now I don't get the squiggly lines anymore. Oh well. There we go. Tests are working. If I go here now and I run this, then it should not fail anymore. Yay! This one should also not fail. Okie dokie. And then what? Then I can go to my handler again, check what's what, see if there's something to refactor. So I find this competition. Let's do that before trying to save the challenge, in fact. Okie dokie. Now, do I want to add this to like a creator or something? I don't think I do. Okay. All right, I was just going across some multiple scenarios in my head where before I used to have this thing where I really needed to copy a challenge because I both wanted challenges to be a thing on its own and something that belongs to a competition, but I've got rid of that thing, and now it should always be part of a competition, a challenge that is. So really add challenge has become create challenge, I think, instead of just add challenge. So whenever you call add challenge, it's actually always create challenge, I think, because that's the only way to create a new challenge is by doing this. Let's go to the controller again. And now the other thing that's in here is that challenges are first saved in bulk, basically, and then also being added to all of the to all of them being added to one competition, and then the competition is saved in one go. That thing I can't really do anymore, I guess, if I do an add challenge to a command, add challenge to a competition handler command, I mean. Because now the thing that, so if I have multiple challenges, I'll do create new challenge, save new challenge, add it to the competition, save competition. So this thing is going to be called every time I add a new challenge. And it's a bit different from here, but I'm not sure if it actually matters all that much, since it's just hibernate anyway, right? All right, so I think we've got a fully tested handler. We've got a command. And now I think we can do... hang on. Go back to the controllers test. And check... Where's the add challenge? Right, so this only tests that it can save multiple challenges at once. So now instead of doing this, the only thing I need to do is verify that the thing is called what's it called? The command. And I think that's already done, no? Ooh. What the fuck? So this is weird, I guess. When competition was not started, if I go back to the competition controller and it says the unstart, I don't even do that. So this test is completely useless. It's working because I didn't set up this thing, so it should return nothing, but it isn't even taken into account. So in fact, this test is completely useless right now. I should have deleted it before, because it's moved to that unstart competition command handler. Okay. So it should be something like this, right? So an existing competition. Yeah. What I could do now though is, since both of these accept this, this should be challenge to add, right? Or add challenge commands. I already forget. Yeah, actually no. No, it should be commands. I'm right. It's just a bit weird. No. Nope, nope, nope. I'm wrong. There should be challenges to add. Challenge to add. So ID-less challenges, basically. And then I should create new commands from these. And then loop across those commands and then execute them with this. Okay. So, challenge to add. Default challenge for test, sure. Okay. There we go. And then I really just need to say I want to just verify that the command executor was run. Command executor mock ×2, and it should be executed with what? So this captor needs to change into a add challenge captor. Just like that. And then this should have a challenge first, challenge to add. Dot name, I guess, is equal to first and then to second, and then I don't remember why this ID is there. I guess it's because it's a newly created one, but it doesn't have that thing yet. So this ID should be equal to the competition ID. Where is it at? So competition ID of requested competition ID, a string. So by doing this, I can verify, I guess, that both of these things are there. What I could do here is instead maybe just check that challenge to add is equal to challenge 1 and then 2. It seems a bit normal. Oh yeah, more normal to me, I guess. Okie dokie is equal to challenge, and then just change this one. There we go. Alright. Doesn't happen anymore, doesn't happen anymore. This also doesn't happen anymore. Given challenges. Alright. The save is not done either. Okay, that's it. So really what I'm doing here is verifying that the command executor is being called twice with 2 add challenge commands. One having the first challenge to add, the second having the second challenge to add, but both of them having the same competition ID. So maybe that competition ID. Okay, I think that's that should be enough. Should start a competition. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it shouldn't, because the code is completely still the old code. Right. So the only thing I need to do in the controller now is transform these challenges to add into commands and then execute all of them commands. And then I should be done. The other thing I haven't done yet, and that's really stupid from myself, is verify that there is a scenario test for this. 500, so there is some kind of an illegal state exception. Huh. Persisted challenge must not be null. Ah, yeah, of course. Okay. That's just because I haven't set up the mocks yet, and then stuff goes wrong. Obviously. Alright, let's check where this is used. Sorry. Okay, find competition does not or no longer needs to be done. What I'll need to do is change this into challenge to add, I think it was. And then we'll need to challenges. We'll need to transform these map to add challenge command. Yep, with a competition ID of competition ID. And it. And then once I have these, I can for each them and then say command executor execute it, I guess. And then do what? Return. What did this return? It's just this, right? So what the hell am I doing? There you go. And then you can, no? Okay. So first we map it onto commands and then we just execute them and then that's it. If I rerun it now, it should work. And then we'll have an unused function at the bottom somewhere. How are we doing? How are we doing? Chat, what's up? Yo. Is that because I haven't mocked the response or something? What does it say actually? Verify mock, do something. Verify mock, do something. Mocking methods declared on non-public parent classes is not supported, but it's a public function though. Missed method call for verify here. Unfinished verification. Missing method call for verify here. Huh. Okay, where's the other verifies? Here's an in order. Well, I wonder what's wrong here. If you figured it out, let me know, please. Oh, maybe it's this thing. Must not be null. That's probably why. Where is that? So these things are null somehow. Or actually null is being passed into this execute thing. Ooh, and then my implementation is incorrect. How can that be null though? I guess we debug or something, I don't know. Ooh, or this is in fact empty or something. No. Nah. Let's just split it into two things. Add challenge commands. Put the breakpoint here. Let's run it in debug. I guess or not. Control-Shift-D. Oh, it was already running. Okay, my bad. Just had to have some patience. Alright, sizes too. Seems legit. Both have a challenge to add. I don't understand. Okay, and then what? Will this thing be entered? Or is command executor? It is a mock, okay. Still breaking. So the code is doing what it's supposed to do. I just failed to set up my test code correctly somehow. Maybe it's not an add challenge thing or something? I don't know. It is a command after all, so. Ooh, maybe you can't argument capture an add challenge thing. No, that can't be it either. Right. What the f pain links? Missing method call for verify. Example of correct verification. I don't understand. It worked before. See? It's the same. It's the same. Jesus. I did do this though. Maybe you need to... Maybe you need to when it anyway. Otherwise it won't work or something. It seems weird. Anyway, when command execute a mock. Execute is returned with any then. Then do what? Then return. Oh, I can't just do this. Any add challenge command. Then return. No? Oh, different run. Then return. I don't care. Any competition. I wonder if this fixes it. Meow. Different errors, at least. Oh, should have moved just before I do the actual call. Nope. Still broken. You cannot use argument methods outside of verification, or it seems like this thing isn't a mock or something. I don't know. Oh, you idiot. No, wait. Outside of verification, or what is this not stubbing then? What the hell is going on here? I don't get it. So somehow, at this point, this is not a mock or something. Or, okay, so I do execute with any add challenge thing. The other thing I could do, I guess, is go like that. Challenge with competition ID of request. Well, actually, no, it's a request competition ID. And then a challenge to add for challenge. Oh, Jesus. Challenge. It's just challenge 1. No? Yeah, it's just challenge 1. Challenge 1. Then return whatever. And I do the same for 2. Because then I don't use the anything anymore. What will happen then? I'm guessing I'm going to get this argument capture bullshit again. I should in fact just use a stub for a command executor instead of this when crap. It looks so yucky. Oh, here we go again. Add challenge capture dot capture must not be null. I hope it has nothing to do with Okay, let's just try this. Make it a private late init thing, and then just go like a capture, and it should be an argument capture of an add challenge. Something like this, maybe. Let's see if this works. If it does, I'm puzzled, because that would mean that the manual argument capture thing that I used to have here is not working, which is kind of weird. I hope I'm getting the same exception now. So like saying add challenge capture cannot be null or something. Must not be null. Okay, great. Then I can revert. That's good. All right. Oh, or maybe it's because this thing is not resolved yet or something. No, I don't remember. Maybe it's because it's a sealed class or something that it doesn't work. No, it shouldn't. Because then I was thinking, because then it should fail somewhere else, but I don't have somewhere else where I have this capturing of challenges or capturing of commands. And then also adding the mocks or the mock statements doesn't help anything either, so I guess they could just go as well. This is so strange. Oh. JoeBew42, thank you for following. I do not understand. So it really just fails here. What verify is this? Yo, Pixelated Dice, thank you for following. What's up? These people walking by, it's so funny. Their faces are weird. I should have a cam put on them and let have you guys see the reactions. Oh! I wish I could just fix this. Must not be null. But it isn't null. I verified that something's being passed to the execute. Hey, what's up there? What are you working on? Alright, let me tell you about this. So I have this hobby project called the Effort Challenge. It's a web app. It looks like this. It's just some web app to help run competitions, basically. Last weekend I went to a board games conference in Europe and in Germany. We set up a bunch of challenges for everyone to do. Like, for example, do this when you win a game. Stand up and shout, "Hi, my name is Victor and I'm the Vicar. I'm Victor the Victor." So if you did that after you won a game, you would gain the 3 points after you say, well, this is the challenge I want to complete, and it's Ruben that completed it. You press submit, and Ruben will be attributed 3 points. And then at the end of the weekend, we tallied all of the score, and like this thing just tallies all of the score, and we'll have a winner. So this is the app, the web app I'm working on, and what I'm doing, or the other goal that I have using this web app or coding it, is to prove to myself that I can move from a more hard-coded architecture, let's say, like a not a very flexible architecture, to hexagonal architecture, which has the ports and adapters thing, so it can be a little bit more flexible that way, and you can be way more explicit if you use CQRS, the command and query responsibility segregation, that is. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm transforming it. Anemic domains can be a solution, by the way. Yes, I completely agree. So that's mainly the point. For me, the anemic domain models are great because you can have low overhead, you can develop code really, really fast, but it has a downside of being less flexible. So if I can prove to myself that I can move or incrementally architect, I call it, from a monolith to or anemic domain model to CQRS, then I can do, then I will easily or like feel more inclined to start off with that. You did event-oriented architecture with an anemic domain model. Yeah, so then your events were outside of your domain, I guess. Now what's wrong with my test? Well, let me tell you what's wrong. So what I do here is I call my controller via a mock MVC thing. So whenever this HTTP call happens, it'll get mapped to this function here. And here I get a competition ID and then challenges to be added. And the idea is to transform these objects into commands. So these are commands, add challenge as a command. And then I need to execute all of those commands. And I do that by calling command executor.execute it. So code is looking great. I did debugging. It seems to work. It's just that the test is failing right now because I'm using an argument captor. And this thing should capture both calls to the command executor's execute method. And then capture both arguments being passed to that execute thing. Except the test is complaining that this add challenge captor is null, and it should not be. So that's the thing, the error that I'm getting. Now, you might ask, well, maybe you had to change syntax a little bit, like do this instead or something. However, I used to have this test here that did basically the same, but then with a different mock, and it works exactly the same. So I said verify that a challenge repository save function was called with a challenges captor. And then in the end, I verified that those, well, the same idea basically. But now add challenge captor is null somehow, and I have no idea why. Can you please start by telling the story intent of your test from the beginning, just to give me some context? Okay, so this is what the test is called. API competition add challenge when a post happens to that URL. That's this thing here. Then the challenges that are being passed. So that's these things. They should be transformed to commands, the add challenge commands, and then get executed. That's it. And the intent of my test is to verify that this mapping and execution actually happens. That's what I want to test, basically. And I thought I could do that with this thing. So let's just put the breakpoint here. Let's put the breakpoint there just before doing the call. And then I'll have a breakpoint on my controller. And then you can see the flow of the things. So let's run it in debug. Basically, you want to document the collaboration between your HTTP controller and the yes, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. Yes, just for now, even though that I know that it sort of works already. Okay, here we are. So we're about to make the HTTP call using Spring's mock MVC thing. So if I can just go around this thing, then I should be entering the add challenges function. There we go. Then these challenges to be added are the things that I've set up in my test. Challenge to add things. And then I'll map them. So I'll create new objects with it called add challenges, and these are commands. So F8 on this. These will now be the commands containing a competition ID, but also containing those challenges to add. So the first and the second challenge, those things haven't changed. And then what I'll do is I'll loop across them and then perform command executor.execute. I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with this for each thing. that, yeah, I don't know actually. Can I add a breakpoint here? Like, let's do this one. So the idea is that I get entered twice into that thing. This is the first time, and then it is unresolved. Okay, now it is an add challenge. It's the first one. And that was the second one. And then here's the return accepted. Maybe the equals is not implemented for the commands. Okay, that's a good call. So in Kotlin, data classes are ways to make sure that whatever object that you create, it'll get an equals implementation and a hash code implementation for free based on the fields that are in there. So that would mean maybe something is wrong with the competition ID creation though. Because the thing I did there was, yeah, here I override the equals because one competition ID is equal to another competition ID when its internals are equal. Because it's just a simple wrapper. So that's not it either. I could I? No. But this must not be null thing is weird to me. Missing method call for verify mock here. Example of correct verification, verify blah, do something. You know what? Maybe I can just skip the times thing and then see where that leads us. Cool. So is it rerunning now or not? Oh yeah, okay, it is. What happens if you try not to use a mock and instead use a real command executor that prints something in the command line just to see that the collaboration is happening and there is something wrong with the mock? Yeah, that's the other thing I said earlier as well. Like, I actually don't really want a mock. I just want something. Like, I could write the same thing and replace this with like a stub or something, but if I have to do that, then for this specific test, I could extract it into something else. Because the way I set this thing up is via a mocked bean. Command execute. I don't apparently need the challenge repository mock anymore. Dang it. I feel like it has to be something silly, like because this thing used to work. I don't understand why it doesn't work anymore. Is that still true, actually? There is a different controller mock competition. Not a mock, a test in the old backend. So my project currently is set up between two modules, one regular FIT backend and then a CQRS backend. This one I thought would be useful to show the viewers when they had questions or when they just to show differences, but now let's see. So this is the controller test from the old backend, the not transformed yet, and there should be an add challenges thing here as well. So should add given challenges to the competition. exactly the same setup here. We've got challenges capture here. And what we do is we verify that whenever challenge repository mock is called twice, just capture whatever challenge was passed along and then verify that this thing happened. Now, there was one thing that I haven't verified yet of a potential issue. Add a challenge capture. So this is a device from Mockito, which is a mocking library that you can use to inspect arguments that were passed into a mock during the test runtime. So in this case, you say, I want to create an argument capture for this type of class. And then you just say verify that whenever this challenge repository is being called, or actually the save function is being called, just capture or use this challenges capture to capture whatever argument was passed along. And then after the runtime is done running, I guess, you then have values within this challenges capture that you can inspect, and you do that this way. So this test does work, and it uses the same mechanic, right? But with the difference of a challenge being something being a data class, but it's just a class on its own. And the difference with these commands is that this add challenge command is within a competition command's sealed class. So that's the only difference. So what I'm going to try and do is just move this out of the sealed class. Now it's just the same thing. And if I go back to my controller test and try to run it this way, because maybe I was thinking maybe sealed class does something special so that you can't use an argument capture anymore. Compiling, running. Okay, what if you simplify verification instead of using times, you just split it into lines without using the capture? Hang on. Alright, just to verify that that doesn't solve anything. Okay. So you're saying instead of using this capture, don't do that, just verify that it's being called twice? I guess that could work, but then I missed the mapping. So I guess I could do that. You know what? I think that's a better idea. Just do this. And then have an any or something. Any add challenge. Class. And then I don't care about this. I shouldn't really care about that either. And just verify that this works. Implicitly verified by the mock. Well, yeah. The mapping is never, I mean, the mapping of a challenge to add to a add challenge command is never tested anywhere. Well, not in this test function at least, but I think I have a scenario test for that. And then this doesn't work either though. This is fucking strange. So if I get rid of the ×2 thing, this is so strange. Because I should have like a place where I verify the command executor somewhere else. This is so weird. It's almost like this command executor isn't a mock, but then how come I can do this? Yeah. Okay, hang on now. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's do this, and then let's say not with any either. Let's try and create an expected add challenge with a requested competition ID and then challenge 1, for example. Can you read the error? Probably there is something wrong in the way we use the mock. Yeah, I'm thinking that if I look at this, then it's sort of likely that command executor mock is not an actual mock. But then other code in my other tests don't corroborate that information. Thank you for trying to help, by the way. All right, so this does work. So there's something happening with can you go like this? This is even more explicit. I'm not sure if that will work. If this works, I think I'll keep it like that. Or actually, I'll try to break the test. That does work. Okay, now let's try to break the test by changing the production code to verify that the test is working. So instead of doing both or something, maybe I can just try and... Okay, I've got an idea. Let's not do this, and let's just try command executor, execute and add challenge with competition ID of competition ID, and then with some challenge to add that I just create myself. Snarf, what else? 8 test. So my test should fail right now, right? Because if my test doesn't fail, then it's pointless. Or it's not a good test. Ah, it does fail. Okay, cool. It even has the thing it expected. Okay, cool. Let's do that then. Nice. So there we have it. Rerun the test again. Hey, cheers for helping out. Oh, and then I can also just get rid of this, in fact. Okay. Rerun it. Thanks, Joe. I still wonder why that doesn't work though. It seems so strange. Okay, anyway. Let's also see. So we have some scenario tests. Where is they? Here they are. I don't remember which one it was. Challenges can get updated. Challenges can get updated. Could get copied. I'm looking for something that says add challenge or something. Oh, there we go. And what does this thing do? Oh, it still works with challenges though. That's fine, I guess. Here we go. So we add multiple challenges, just a simple one here. Okay, so instead of this, I should create a challenge to add, I guess. There's just only 2 places that I need to do that. However, so this should also be a challenge to add instead of a challenge. And where do I add challenges? Here, challenge to be created. Hosting a new one. Okay, I think I can just safely change that. Oh, it's not going to be safely, but it just won't break. It should be fine. Ooh, I missed a comment. That makes sense, by the way. You want to document that given some request, you expect to call the command executor with specific commands. There is no need to test the mapping. It's already done in the moment you are verifying. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. That was the thought behind that. All right, let's go back here. No, wait, where was it? Here. Yeah, and then make these into challenge to add. And it should be the same. So then I should change this into a challenge to add as well. It should compile and then add challenges. Should also change to a list of challenge to add. And that'll be that, I guess. Now there should be some more things that are failing now. I thought there were going to be more breaking. Ah, here we go. It only showed up after I scrolled, of course. Challenge to add. Challenge to add as well here. There we go. Now let's compile again. What? I don't think IntelliJ was up to date. Good work, by the way. Nice that you are sharing. I have to go now. Have a great redesign. Cheers, mate. Thanks for helping out. Glad you enjoyed this redesign thing. Hope to see you next time. Have a nice day. All right. This was the actual thing I wanted to initially change. And that should be that, right? And then I can just run all of the tests and then finally commit. I think I also did some refactorings that shouldn't be in the same commit though. So we can get those out of there. Okay, seems to be working. You know what, let's just first run the scenario tests. Because if they fail, then something else is going on, right? The other thing I was wondering about is if one of the challenges has fails, then the other should fail too, I guess, because it's a single thing. And I haven't got a test for that yet, so it seems that all of the tests, or the scenario tests currently, are working. So what I'm going to try and do next is write a scenario test that tries to create two challenges, of which one of them is invalid. And then I want to verify that none of those challenges are actually created onto the competition. Because it's like an all or it should be an atomic operation. Ooh. Should fail with... okay, yeah, I got rid of those. So this entire class can go. Because I moved the validation to that command handler, eh? Alright. So if all of these tests are green, I'll just make a little commit. Make a little commit, make a little progress. Alright, hang on, so this thing, I just want to commit the command handler first, maybe. Renamed Q for a query to C for a command. All right, that was that. And then let's go over our changes. So this is a new add challenge command handler. It has its own test. I changed challenges illegal state exception to having domain validation runtimes. Some readability improvements. Actually, I can create both of these. So what did I change here? Let's commit these. Changed challenges illegal state exception to domain runtime validation. And then what was this thing? Yeah. Default challenge for challenge to add. Added the command. Change implementation. Did we clean up? I don't think we cleaned up. Yeah, we did not clean up. There we go. Not using that argument capture import anymore. Got rid of an unused test there, and then changed how add challenges should work. Yet other unused imports. I should probably just run that on the rest of that thing. And then changed the scenario tests to use challenges to add instead of challenges directly. Same here. And same here. And that's about it. All right, commit this. So, changed, how do you say that? Changed competition controller add challenge to use commands. That's it. And push it. All right, and then I'll take a little breaky break, and then we'll write a scenario test that tries to add challenges that are invalid to a competition. All right, so be right back. And in the meanwhile, enjoy the music. See you in a bit. Right. And we are back to create a new challenge test. Competition that ends up having already blah blah. I don't care. I think I cared about this one. And then challenge. Or adding challenges, one of which is invalid, should not add any challenge. That's the thing. So this one is valid, and then is invalid challenge to be created. Or maybe let's do another challenge as well. Call it something else. Something else. We'll give it 5 points. Something. ... And then here's the invalid one called invalid challenge. Invalid because points cannot be 0. Something like that. And then we'll create a new competition. That's this thing here. The what? Okay. So that's not what I want to do. Just create an empty one for first. And then I want to add multiple challenges, right? So let's do scenarios.add challenges. Here we go. To competition ID. And a list of challenge to be created. Then the invalid challenge to be created. And then another challenge to be created. Balls. Because we expect it to be accepted, but it's not going to be. So instead of doing this, the thing I want to do here, I guess is that. So I have moved on to verification now, and I want to assert that this is still empty. That's it. So let's do this. Here's the call, and then that's a verification. Right, so I'll have a competition. I mean, competition created. Verify that they are empty. And then try and add challenges and verify that it's still empty. So here is the, well, I want to inline this one, keep the function, and then just add the challenges, and these are the challenges to be created. There we go. All right, let's see this work, baby. That would be ideal. Then I don't need to change any code whatsoever. It's sitting too long. All right. Standing desks for the window. Oh. Wait, no, that's correct. I wanted bad request. That was silly. No. I knew it. All right. Well, it's a good thing that I tested it. If I don't use it anymore, then I shouldn't inject it anymore either, right? Yeah, so the thing that's happening now is that there's no transaction or explicit transaction management happening. Where is the add challenges thing? Here we go. So I think the first actual, oh, hang on. Commit is happening here when I do this. This is the first commit. So what I want to do is, where is the command executor? I guess what I want to do is add a transactional thing here. And then run it again and then see if it works or not. Very curious. Actually, this is not gonna make any difference whatsoever. I'm so stupid. Let's just stop doing this. It wouldn't work because I execute commands one by one here. So I guess here there should be a transactional annotation. I think this should in fact make it work, but I'm not really sure. I'll find out soon enough. All right. Jean or Jean 2019, thanks for following. Come on, let's work. Yay. All right, there we go. So, is this a good solution? I don't think it is. What I think I should do is wrap this add challenges thing into something that actually adds challenges in one command. So one command that has multiple commands, I guess, to be executed as one. Then I can put transactional here, and I think that makes a little bit more sense. Even though, yeah, I don't really, I sort of abuse the transaction or the consistency boundary of my aggregate, currently being my competition. Because this thing has add challenge somehow. Make this work like add competitor, what the fuck? So I have to-dos, but I never fix them. Oh, sheesh. So you can actually add challenges even if your competition is started, but you can't actually do it in the UI. Oh boy. Man, facepalm that one. Okay, first of all, let's commit this. And then maybe also add it in the you know what? Let's first add it in the captain's log. Here's yet another reality check. What day is today? Oh, Jesus Christ. The 3rd of November. Options for choosing where transactionality lies. Problem when adding multiple challenges to an existing competition. When one of the challenges is invalid, none of the challenges should be added. Added a scenario test for this and put a transactional on the controller, competition controller. But not sure how I feel about that, because I think ideally I have my command executor execute be transactional. Because it implicitly is the consistency boundary of my aggregates. And the reason for that being that commands get executed on an aggregate. That's it basically, right? And then before and after execution, that's where an aggregate should be consistent. So if I then add add challenges, note the multiple command. The competition will be, or should be, consistent after execution of adding multiple challenges. So now the thing is, do I want to change that now or not? I think I do, right. Let's just do that. Jesus. So many choices. Jesus. Okay. Let's first add this. And then do the work. Adding, or well, actually introduced transactionality boundary to dot add challenges. And now I can change it up. I didn't push that, right? And then added a command that says add challenges. Yeah. Competition commands. Oh dear. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just change it up completely. So then let's go to the competition controller. Then these. Challenge to add, yeah. Oh my god, this would have helped me so much as well with that other test. Because here, I no longer need to do this twice. I can just do it once with add challenges and then have both of them. Where are they at? Given challenges. Like this. Hey, baby steps, am I right? Then this doesn't exist anymore. It should just be renamed to add challenges. Rename the test along with it. Make sure it's this command. And then, oh right, they're not called that anymore, are they? They're called challenges to add. Just like that. And then newly created challenge. So here we do the mapping now. So so then maybe first what we can do is find the competition. And then do this. This can become it. And then what we'll do is map, or actually for each. And now we practically have the same code as before. Nice people. And then save the competition. And then we need to change this test up. So this can become created challenge should be valid. Just like that. And then we'll just wrap this in a wrist. Nice. Let's do this thing as well in a list. And now also just check that I can do that with 2 of them. Let's just do it in one single test, shall we? Challenge to add, maybe let's call this 1. And also 2. Let's just give it a different name. Man, now it's really starting to look like the same code as before. Here's that thing again with the, what was it, values or something? All values the first or something. And then let's just do the same with the second. Okay, and then just like that. See here, I do the it's a when, and then I capture it instead of in the verify. Maybe that was the mistake I made earlier. Sheesh. We have problem. Wait, why is it? It's... Huh? Okay, somewhere in here, newly created and saved challenge. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, of course. I return it twice, so I don't really care about this, do I? I think... This is annoying. I don't really want to do this. I just want to return something, but then I'm going to use this thing that's being returned, right, to add it to the challenge on to add it to the competition. I mean, Gugh. Okay, I've got an idea. No, I can't actually. Dang it. I was gonna say I'm going to return these challenges, but I can't, because these are challenges to add and not actual challenges. Can I go like this? I don't know. Maybe I can. And then contains 1 and 2. See, if I hadn't used contains exactly, the test would have succeeded. Would have been green for the wrong reason. Null pointer. Mang. Where? Okay. I guess if you want to... no. You can do it like this. I remember now. It's okay. So first return 1 and then return 2. At least I hope. Yay! Okay, great. And this thing works as well. It ran 2 tests. I don't know. Okay. Then that's that. And then I can get rid of this at transactional and actually put it on the execute. And then my scenario tests, or actually all of the tests, should still work. But that's assumptions, so let's run them all. Okay. Oh no. What is the problem? 400. Why is that? Maybe it has nothing to do with Oh, I know what it is. It has nothing to do with my current change. It's because I currently have 2 competitions and I still... Oh, God. So this is competition for testing invalid challenges. And now this name is too long, so let's do it invalid challenges comp or something. There we go. Now, if I run all of this, it should work. And yay, there we go. Okay, cool. So moved transactionality boundary to command executor not execute, which makes way more sense. Now also it's more explicit that the add challenges command is something that should and that is an atomic command. That's what I wanted to say. There we go. So either this thing entirely works or it entirely does not work. Great. Cool. All right. Let's push this up again. Alright, so it took me a little over an hour to do that. Normally I could track how long I've been a little over an hour, he says. I've been streaming for about 3. Okay, so that was considerably more difficult, but managed to do it in the end anyway. Okay, so if I extrapolate that 3-hour thing, that's 3, 6, 9, and this one's easy, so so 12. So that's 12 more hours. That's 4 more sessions of me doing this. And that's just a competition controller, and then a challenge controller. If we go to the challenge controller, yeah, this one, it's 1 more. So this one might take a longer while even. Although, yeah, we'll see. We'll just see. Okay, can I start this already? Or maybe do I want to go to the competition commands and extract that oh, I was looking for the handler. This bit, like where I find a competition and then do something. Where was that other thing? If I go to the start competition command handler. I know here it's important that it's started or not. Okay. And actually, maybe now that I look at this, maybe this should actually be inside this function. Because I shouldn't be using fields from competition in my command handler. It should be here. Oh, hang on, but yeah, no, I can just move it. I'm going to just move it. Yeah, let's do some cleanup here. Let's go to the handler again. I mean, do I really care about this? It's just so that I don't save it again. That's the only thing, right? Ugh. Why is it that I wanted to not call this? Why? Is it really just to not save? Maybe that's why? I don't remember. can't help think that there must have been a reason, but then I didn't document it well enough. Maybe I should rewatch that episode. Let's revert it, yo. Let's fix those to-dos in challenge. No, it wasn't. Where was it then? Alright, it's here. Add challenge, and then let's see for add competitor. Add competitor. What? How come I don't have add competitors?
It was away from things.
Ah, okay. Competition that is started cannot have competitors added to it. Competition without can still have. Here we go, same thing. All right, now I think without challenges. This is just competition created, but here add challenge happens. Okay. So that was just adding method names to tests. So we wanted to do add challenge, and then a competition that's already started cannot have challenges added to it, like this thing. So a competition or default started competition. And then this should fail. And we don't need an assert there. So what we do need is something like this. Or yeah, maybe I can add. Yeah, let's add a actually don't care about the start date. I care about the challenges though. Challenges. List of challenge default challenge for test with something like name. I also don't care about that. Existing challenges. And I want that some competition challenges. Oh no, is equal to that stuff. This should be something that is going to throw an exception. That exception type. And then what? Let's do it like competitors, unable to add challenge to started competition domain exception. Oops. And then is thrown by. And then we'll add this one next to competition itself, I think. Yeah. And then we'll just copy this one and then say enable to add challenge to started competition. And then there we go. Oi. What's the problem? Oh no, I changed the wrong test. Competition test. But then the right one, it's this one. Oh no, I also modified or added those things in the wrong test. Shit. Okay. And then now I need to add this thing to that. And then here we've got add competitor. And then here's the rename thing again. Here we've got start. Then we've got complete challenge. Hey, Mission Fission, thanks for following. Okie dokie. Now we've got the rename again, so I need to get rid of this test before committing that rename, in fact. So let's commit this one. commit message. Then we'll re-add it. And verify that it fails. All right, expecting to raise a throwable. It doesn't. That's because it doesn't do anything yet. Don't start competition. Well, it's not the start one I wanted to change, right? It's the add challenge. So if it's already started, unable to add challenge. There we go. Run it again. And then we'll do the same to remove challenge. This is new. Replace with require call. Cool. Because then it's a real argument exception. This should actually just also be changed into the main validation runtime. Oh god, more to-dos. Got rid of one to-do, added another. Ugh. Okay, adding challenges should be impossible when competition started. All right, and then I'll change, or we'll add another test for removing a challenge. Let's add start challenge alongside its brothers. No, I'm changing the wrong. Oh god. I didn't want to move add competitor. I wanted to move add challenge. Both of these. Complete challenge. Okay, let's put them here. Completing a challenge can only be done when a competition is started. That we already have. And then I think I want to add remove challenge right after adding a challenge, because it sort of makes more sense. And alrighty, add challenge. So same thing here. Well, actually, should remove challenge. So here we want to duplicate this one. When competition already started, should not be able to remove challenge. A competition has already started. Okay, let's do it like that. A competition that's already started cannot have challenges removed from it. so that it reads like a sentence. Let's add, add this certain that exception of type. So I have something in unable to remove challenge. Is thrown by this piece of code. And then contains exactly some and other challenge or something. This thing needs to be created, so let's go to the enable. This one. Remove. From a competition that's already been started. And then I can import this. All right. And then if we run this, it should also fail. Oh, this one is also going to fail. Let's replace it. Excuse me, let's replace it with this one. Competition for test. All right. Let's run it, and then it should finally fail. Yay! And then I think I should run all of the tests. Because if that one failed, maybe I have some start or add challenges that also use a started competition. No, that's not the case. Okay. Cool. All right. And then same for removing challenges should be possible from a started competition. Well, let's push that as well. And then I think that last to do that we had there. This should go. I need the other competition. CQRS backend, that's the one. Do I want to change it now or what? I guess I could. Well, let's actually change that, assert that exception of type, and then let's do it like this. Is thrown by this piece of code. And then this test should still work. I knew it was a with message. Just wish running tests would be faster. Oh my god, I just fixed the compilation. There we go, and now we can change it into a domain validation runtime that says, let's go to competition itself. In this one, yeah. Let's call it end date cannot be before the start date. This seems like a generic exception, right? Let's call it. Oh, hang on. There is a domain validation run. Okay, let's do that one. Domain validation runtime exception. And that should be fine. Should fail now. And then we can just get rid of that last to do that we created. Nice. That's the one. I wonder if the squiggly line, yeah, see now it goes away because you can't call require on that thing. Maybe I could apply the same thing a little bit with my domain validation runtimes. Call it validate or something, and if it fails, then you throw this thing with this message. Okay. Changed. What was it? Illegal? Yeah. To domain validation runtime. And then actually, let's run all of the tests again, just to make sure that we didn't break anything else. Because I might be expecting some exceptions somewhere else. Yay! Alrighty. Nothing more to commit. Let's push, and then that'll be that for today's session, I think. Yay! Some more to-dos. This is probably why Let's just get rid of these, otherwise they'll keep on popping up. So those are irrelevant. What was I going to do with that? Ah, this is not a test case anymore, because you can't remove competitors anymore from a running competition. Lol. Bye. And then get rid of this one as well. Refactor this to also include the competition ID to make it explicit that it's not just any challenge, but specifically the one belonging to this competition ID. What? Oh, I don't know what I meant with that. Cleaned up to-dos. All right, and that's going to be my final commit and push. All right, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I also hope to see you next time. Let me check when that'll be, in fact. Oh boy. Got a busy weekend next week. Because there's a Quake LAN party. Woohoo! And then Saturday I'll be doing some board gaming. Damn, I've got an insanely busy week. Okay, so no live coding next week. Sniff. And then the week after is going to be Socrates. So starting the 14th of November on the evening up until Sunday morning, there's a Socrates Belgium conference or unconference in La Roche-en-Ardenne, and I'm going. Maybe, I'm not sure, maybe I can stream from there. I doubt that the Wi-Fi is going to be sufficient. And if not, well then, you'll see me stream when I'm going live on Twitter. Follow me there. But until then, see ya. Peace!